something different. I'm a English-speaking Turkish person that has been born and raised in England.
Ben İstanbul'dayım, Türkiye'liyim.
My origin is Turkish.
Söylediğimiz zaman Türk'üm diyorum.
No, I'm Kurdish or Alevi or whatever it is.
I would say I'm definitely Turkish.
I classify myself as Turkish, but I also classify myself as British.
Yeah, I'm Turkish. I'm a British citizen.
I just perceive myself as being Turkish.
I'm Turkish.
I'm Turkish. I'm British citizen.
Kesinlikle Türk olarak hissediyorum.
Yeah, I'm Turkish, but there's more to me than being Turkish.
I would consider myself as British since I was born in London.
Kıbrıs, Akdeniz'in mavi incisi. Türkiye, Avrupa'nın, Orta Doğu'nun ve Akdeniz'in tarih kapısı. Doğduğum ülke, güneşin ilk doğuşunu gördüğüm yer. Masmavi gökyüzünün altında şiir ve barış çektim içime. Londra'ya giderken seni bir tren penceresinden seyrediyorum. Güzelliğine taparcasına hayranım. Ruhunu öpüyorum saygı ve sevgiyle. Geçmişte neysem oyum. Bugün neysem yine aynısıyım. Gelecekte ne olacaksam onu olacağım. Kaçmak imkansız. Güvercinler, kumrular, Ali'nin, Fatma'nın, Mehmet'in adını aldılar. Her biri bu ülkeye umudu bağladılar. Biz daha henüz yeni geldik. Trafalgar Meydanı'nın tüm güvercinleri bizim ışığımızdı, arkadaşımızdı, yepyeni arkadaşımız. Değişik bir ülkede, yeni bir dünyada, yepyeni bir mücadelede dostumuz. Aydınlığımız. Buradayız. Oğullarımızla, kızlarımızla buradayız. Ve onların çocuklarıyla, her şeyimizle. Tüm varlığımızla. Britanya'da ikinci vatan dediğimiz topraklardayız. Şimdi çocuklarımız bu ülkenin bir parçası, bu ülkenin bir gerçeği oldular. Onlar bizim olmak istediklerimiz, belki olamadıklarımız. Ama onlar bizim geleceğimiz. Sizlere anlatacakları çok şeyleri var. Bu ülke hakkında, ana babalarının geldiği topraklar, kültürleri, yaşadıkları toplumdan dışlanmaları, sevdikleri, inandıkları ve evet, düşleri hakkında. Sizlere anlatacakları çok şeyleri var. Onları dinleyin. Ama çok dikkatli dinleyin.
Let's start a story chapter. Let's start a story chapter.
Feel the bass.
Let's start a story chapter. Let's start a story chapter.
1981'de gözlerimi açtım hayata. Yıllar geçti buldum kendimi Londra sokaklarında.
My name's Elvis, the mercenary. Yeah? I'm gonna be the first Turk to blow up in the cage fighting scene in the MMA game. There's no Turk representing us at the moment, but we need one. There's British people who's blowing up, Brazilians, Japanese, Americans. There's no Turks. I'm gonna be the first Turk to blow up. I just feel like I'm just a warrior. It's just in my blood. I can't help it. I just wanna fight. I love martial arts. My dad was a big influence since I was 8 years old, and he got me into martial arts. He used to always, play UFC videos. We used to watch Ricks and Gracie fight when I was little, and it motivated me, you know, and it inspired me. So, you know, I loved it so much, I just wanted to get into it. I'm just following my dreams. I love doing this. This is what I love. A lot of Turks, we come from, you know, warriors, great warriors, you know, our ancestors, the Ottomans, and I'm going to represent, you know.
First education starts at home, obviously, so tahedir babadan gelsin bir şey, you know, to learn something babadan anneden tabii. Tabii oğlandır, so babasına bakacağım bu şeylere, for this sort of thing, for training and stuff. Be disciplined in something, so, you know, gives him good discipline, keeps him off alcohol, drugs, gives him a nice road to follow.
And it's kept me disciplined. He was very strict on me. I had a lot of, you know, rules in the house, and, you know, it kept me away from all the rubbish around me. And that's it. I appreciate that a lot.
Tamam arkadaşlar, kolay gelsin. Arkadaş oturuyor.
Buyur abi, bu yemek zahmet. Masa 2'ye verir misiniz lütfen?
1980 Adana Ceyhan doğumluyum. İsmim Fırat. Fırat Taş. 7 yaşına kadar Adana'da kaldık. Sonra İstanbul'a geçtik. 9 yaşında 1989'da İngiltere'ye geldik. Eğitimi burada sürdürdüm. Koleje kadar. Koleji bitirdim. Üniversiteden sonra da iş hayatına atıldım. 2001'den beri restoran sektöründeyiz. Londra'nın göbeği, hatta Türklerin bollukla bulunduğu bir yer diyebiliriz. Türküz. Söylediğimiz zaman Türk'üm diyorum. Ama şöyle bir şey var. Kültürümüzü hem burada yaşatmaya çalışıyoruz, hem de başka kültürlerden, yani başka bir ülkede yaşadığımız için o kültürün güzel taraflarını da kendi kültürümüze katarak daha da güzelleştirmeye çalışıyoruz. Dostluk anlamında olsun, dayanışma anlamında olsun, insanların birbirine yaklaşımı açısından olsun. Ama burada da onları bulamıyorsun. İngiltere'de onları bulamazsın. Bir yabancıdan bunları bulamazsın. O sadece bize has bir şey, bize özgü bir şey. İki kültür arasında görüyorum diyebilirim. Ama ağırlık, yani Türk vatandaşıyım, Türk'üm. Türkiye'de doğdum.
My name is Kemal Öçevik. I'm 24 years old. I was born in Istanbul, and I've been living in London for 13 years. I'm currently studying for a Master's in Financial Economics at Oxford University.
My name is Mehmet Avni Halim. I was born in London and I'm currently a student at Oxford University. I'm studying for Turkish with Ottoman history, and my parents are originally from northern Cyprus. I would consider myself as British since I was born in London, and I have a British passport since birth. But I would also mention that my origins are from northern Cyprus, and that I am Turkish Cypriot.
I would say I'm definitely Turkish. I mean, I have Turkish and British passports, but because I was born in Istanbul and I've lived there since I was 11, I think that kind of growing up until then, I can identify with the culture, the language, and the fact that my parents were here when we moved, and we speak Turkish at home. If you ask my brother, he's much younger. He was 3 when we came over, and I think he'd have a different view. I mean, he also is leaning towards Turkish, but it's harder. The younger you come over, then the harder it is for you to feel Turkish, I guess.
I was born in Turkey in 1989, and when I was a little minor, basically 1 year old, we travelled to England with my family, and I've been here basically for the whole of my life nearly. 18, started uni this year doing psychology. When people ask me my identity, I tend to say Turkish. I don't exactly classify myself as a British because their culture is completely different, their traditions, their beliefs, the way they look at life is completely different from the way I see it. So I don't quite like being classified as a British person, to be honest. Other than that, when a Turkish person asks me, you know, are you Turkish? It depends on the way the question's been asked, but I'll tend to answer, you know, no, I'm Kurdish or Alevi or whatever it is. And then obviously the conversation just goes on from there.
Yıkılan bu dünyam, yürüme karam, sonumu gördüm, titredim korkudan. Son ışığım kayıp, ipim karma karışık. Unutma şimdi söyle, kara kapılar. Toprağın rengi aynı, Türkiye, Londra, ne fark eder? Kırdın kalbimi, kumbaram ümit doluydu. Kahve hayat, yüreğim yanıyor. Dünya mı kahve, sizler mi sahte? Ben de anlamadım ki dünden bugüne takvimlerdeki sayılar artıyor. Güneş başladıkça yaşlanıyor. Mezarda beklemek bir iş, başında titremek önemli. Ellerim kalbimde arz ettim Tanrı'dan. Bugünler geçmez olduğu zaman darıldım, tüm tanıdıklarıma bir hayal kurdum, hepsi ters gitti. Tek sözümle kahreder beni bu şarkılar, her kulakta yankı yapar.
As I am in the club scene, and I know, and I see, because obviously we try to not do Turkish nights, but obviously our customers are mainly Turkish, and we do see a lot of Turkish ladies, Turkish girls that come into our club, and whether dressed up in certain ways. I don't know whether they dress up like that when they leave their house. So what it is, so they started dancing on the poles and everything, but then there was a couple of girls that came in, and then some of them was wearing like shorts, literally like hot pants, where you can see like it's revealing, yeah? They're wearing a low cut top, and then it's like they're wearing exactly what the pole dancer was wearing, yeah? But when they came in, they're like, oh, what's this all about? Why is there a pole dancer here? Blah, blah, blah, and they start getting into this kind of thingy mode. But it's like they don't look at themselves. Well, to be honest, I wouldn't bring my girl.
The girls are, in a way, it's quite hard for them as well, because at home they have to portray themselves completely different, but then when they get out there, some of them, you know, are completely different. You know, I know girls at home, they have to wear headscarves. As soon as they get into school or college or whatever, all of that comes off and they've got something completely different underneath them. So they don't have the freedom to express how they feel and how they wish to be, even like the way they're dressed. So in a way, it's quite hard and difficult for them.
When I was being brought up, I actually have an older brother, and we were both treated very differently. And obviously when I'm younger, you know, you don't quite understand why is it that he can go out this late, he can go on public transport, he can do all of these things and I can't. But you know, the more you grow up, the more you realise your parents don't treat you the same because they want to protect you from certain things. And I know that's how I'm going to treat my children. If I have a son and a daughter, the son, I will be far more liberal with him than I will be with my daughter.
Tabii ki karışır erkek arkadaşım olursa, çünkü kim o, yani sonuçta hayatımı paylaşacağım insana ailem, babam benden daha çok sanırım önem gösterir, daha seçici davranır. Ama bunun negatif yönde değil, pozitif yönde olacağını düşünüyorum. Sonuçta onlar da benim mutluluğumu, herkesin mutluluğunu isterler. Abimin de bana olan ilişkisinden dolayı çok arkadaş gibi bir ilişkimiz var. Abi kardeşten daha çok arkadaş gibi. Yani bizi birlikte görenler daha çok siz eş misiniz diyorlar ya da arkadaş mısınız diyorlar. Hiçbir zaman abi kardeş olduğumuzu düşünmüyorlar. Biraz benim rahatlığımdan sanırım, hani abi biraz çekineyim, biraz korkayım bir şey yok bende. O da biraz babamdan, annemden kaynaklanıyor. O şekilde yetiştirmediler bizi.
Something interesting is that I work with a Turkish website. I do video recording and so forth, and I go to clubs and I record events. Some of them done by Turks, some of them not. Some of the Turkish venues I do go to, I do find that a lot of Turkish girls, they're turning their head as soon as the camera comes to them, and then they're coming up to me afterwards telling me to edit them out because their parents don't know that they're out and so forth. got to earn your freedom. You got to try and, if that's what you want to do and you want to have a social life and so forth, you show your parents that you're responsible enough to the point whereby it starts going into their head and they start getting the notion of it. Obviously, there's a bad stigma attached to girls going out in the Turkish community. Like, I'm not going to apply it to everyone in the Turkish community. I've heard it before. I personally feel sometimes most of these Turkish girls, when they're going out to these clubs and they're lying to their parents, they're not going there because they want to be there, because they want to party. It's more like they're like rebelling, almost, I feel, because they're like rebelling against their parents' authority and so forth, the ones that want to do that.
The youth within the immigrant community is the most vulnerable group, facing more directly the problems of integration. And they are the first to witness these problems, and they are, in the case of Turkish community in the United Kingdom, unfortunately, most often deprived of the support of their parents, because the parents' modest background and sometimes poor living conditions. So all this makes the youth within the immigrant community a more vulnerable group. Turkey has an extensive experience in tackling the problems of immigration, because we have a long history of sending migrant workers first to Germany and then to other countries of the mainland Europe first, because the flow of immigrants from Turkey to UK is a more recent phenomenon compared to this, compared to what happened in Germany. But I think that the lessons we have learned over the years from our experience in Germany and other countries of the mainland Europe are also valid in the case of United Kingdom. And the important conclusion that we came at is that there is no possible successful integration without due respect to the identity of the immigrants.
The Turkish Cypriot community, then of course they've been here for quite a long time, and they have a great deal of experience of the United Kingdom because, of course, living in Cyprus, they came into contact with lots of people from Britain. Many of them learned English. Of course, people from the mainland, either of Turkish origin or Kurdish origin, much newer, they've only been here really over the last 10 to 15 years, and they don't have the experience previously of the language and the culture. So I think in a sense there are several different Turkish-speaking communities. But I think also that if I look at my experience, because I come into contact with a very, very diverse range and large numbers of people, then there are themes that come through from that. The first, of course, is education.
I'm talking about North London here.
Like the North.
East London, Hackney, Hackney, Tottenham, Wood Green, it's all the same. But you don't see that kind of things happening in the West End.
I'm not being bad, but Turkish males do not know how to have fun.
They don't.
Guaranteed fight.
Majority, we are more modernised, I could say, because we were born and brought up in London. We were born up in even the people in Germany or anywhere around the Turks there. We are more modernised. We see things that the Turkish people, the Turkish guys in Turkey don't see.
I went to a lot of clubs in Istanbul, and there's nothing. It's the best. It's better than the West End, I'm saying. And I ain't joking. No one is beefing with anyone. Kuşadası. You're from there like me. Yeah. It's a club.
No, the reason why I tried to go there is because if you look at the majority of the people that start the fight in London, in the Turkish scene, are actually guys that actually come over from Turkey. They weren't even born here.
Wait, no, but
ain't that true?
I disagree. But they're not even Turkish, so don't even go.
I just want to say something. All this what we've said, we're just giving the Turks a bad name. It's not all like that. It's just. It's not like that. It's just in North London, shall I say, or in certain parts of London. There's other Turkish people out there who are having a great time. They go to restaurants, nice live music, nice performances. Yeah. It's just certain areas, so I just don't want people to get the wrong idea.
Okay, young Turkish people in London and in Hackney live in a pseudo-Turkish culture, as in a fake Turkish culture, one which they make up, because they have an identity crisis, a serious identity problem. Because they are brought up in this country and they are quite distant from Turkey, they feel the need to prove that they're Turkish. which is why they wear the eye yıldız, and which is why they'll listen to, you know, the Hulk music, because they need to believe they're Turkish. They need to convince other people that they're Turkish because they don't believe it themselves.
Because I was born here and I'm used to the ways of London lifestyle. But I love North London. I wouldn't like to live nowhere else really, because I'm used to the ways of North London. It's different to other parts of London because I've got all my Turkish people around me and I like it, you know. I feel comfortable.
I could say there are very disadvantaged Turks, young Turkish people, and there are very skilled Turks who really achieve a great deal in London or in UK in general. So it's side by side. It's a combination of all. And you can see it in the way they're dressed, in the way they act, in the way they speak. I remember we were having a conference in Brussels and there were lots of different young Turkish people invited to the conference from all over Europe, from different member states, from different countries. And I was telling a colleague that I could spot which person was from which country. You know, I would say, for example, the group of people there in the corner, they are from Holland, because I can see that from their easy manners and more relaxed manners, because the situation has changed and there is a lot of tension on immigrants in Holland now. But when I was there, you know, things were really relaxed and quite flexible. And you could see that in the way people acted and talked, and they felt very free in their manners and so on. You could immediately tell those living in Holland from those living in Belgium, where they seem to be more conservative and tense and not so relaxed, for example. And if they're from Germany, then you can also see them from the way they cut their hair and things like that. Of course, we keep our own culture, but at the same time, we keep borrowing from the culture in which we live. It is inevitable. Turks in Europe certainly are different from Turks in Turkey.
My grandma brought me up from when I was 3 years old, because my mama left me. She disappeared out of my life, and basically she was there for me from when I was 3 years old. And my nan's from the old school generation, the older generation, more older than my dad. So that's even more of a deeper situation. So she brought me up when I was 3, and she's proper old school, yeah. And basically, she taught me everything, you know, everything I know about my culture. My grandma taught me, like, my religion, yeah, and respect and everything, you know. Turkish food, that's all I eat every day, Turkish food, because of my gran, you know. So I'm proud of it.
Turkish culture in the UK is like similar to the culture in Turkey of the 70s, because they're living a time warp. You see, Turkish families came in the 70s and they lived here. Turkey moved on, they didn't. So at times, sometimes they can be very strict on their daughters, but I think they're equally strict on their sons, and I talk from personal experience, because the parents want their children to remain part of that identity which they believe, but that identity stuck in the 70s.
I'm happy with myself because I belong to a well-known culture, being an Alevi, and also staying in the culture and always going there, because it's given a lot to me as well at the same time. For instance, like I might not speak to many people, but at least you can learn respect to elders and to youngers, and you learn stuff, like you pick stuff up on the way.
For example, I would never talk back to my father or my grandma or older people, because